The Nation, 3rd of March 2024, China's hefty attempt to acquire unwanted regional power. China is an unwanted neighbor historically accepted by the surrounding countries, but this tolerance is now thin. John Mearsheimer says that if states were chess pieces on a global chessboard, each vying for supremacy, becoming a regional king would be essential before striving for the global throne, but India stands in the way. From welcoming the Taliban ambassador to closing infrastructure deals, China's increasing involvement in Afghanistan may be interpreted as a strategic chess play. Resources may play a role, but China's strategy of establishing itself as the leading power in Asia may be more critical. Afghanistan's complicated past and present-day unrest provide formidable obstacles for its neighbors. Human rights violations and the resurgence of extremist organizations have become significant worries as a result of the Taliban's leadership. Interestingly, after more than 2 years of negotiations, Xi's administration was the first to appoint former Taliban spokesperson Bilal Karimi as an official ambassador to Beijing. The West is uncomfortable with the notion of China and Afghanistan enjoying diplomatic comfort, despite the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs lying to state that Beijing's official approval of the country's current Afghan administrators should not be inferred from Beijing's acceptance of the Taliban ambassador. After the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021, a power vacuum and uncertainty resulted, profoundly changing the geopolitical landscape of South Asia. China has stepped up to fill this vacuum by interacting with the Taliban administration and pursuing its own geopolitical, economic, and strategic objectives in Afghanistan. China is a rising global power with long-standing interests in the region. The possibility of instability and the reappearance of extremist organizations, such as the Uyghur separatists of the East Turkestan Islamic Movement, ETIM, are China's main geopolitical concerns in Afghanistan. Should the Taliban be unable to maintain power, Afghanistan might serve as a breeding ground for these groups, thus endangering the security of China's western frontiers and its anti-Muslim policy. China also aims to displace U.S. influence in the area and present itself as a responsible regional force that can support stability in the region. China can influence the destiny of Afghanistan and wield some influence by cautiously engaging with the Taliban. Large amounts of minerals, such as lithium, copper, and rare earths, are found in Afghanistan. These resources are essential for China's technological advancement and infrastructure initiatives, such as the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. Although earlier attempts at mining in Afghanistan have encountered difficulties, the Taliban's willingness to work with China offers a chance for economic engagement. China has already promised humanitarian aid and indicated interest in funding infrastructure projects, which may provide the war-torn country with much-needed economic respite. The administration under the Taliban and Xinjiang's Central Asia Petroleum and Gas Company, CPEC, in China signed a contract in January last year to collect oil from the Amudarya Basin. The agreement is suitable for 25 years, and CPEC will invest $540 million in it during 3 years. China has increased its imports of Afghan pine nuts and granted zero-tariff treatment to 98% of Afghan goods from July 2022. Trade barriers for Afghan exports will be lifted to integrate Afghanistan's economy with China further. The impression that Kabul would be an accessible destination to join the Belt and Road Initiative may come from China, Pakistan, and Afghanistan holding productive trilateral meetings each year. However, the danger to Chinese nationals doing business in Afghanistan is increasing. Therefore, there are still impossible restrictions. Beijing's ambition to connect the CPEC with Afghanistan will increase the number of Chinese security forces stationed at the Khunjerab Pass in the Pamir Knot, furthering China's geopolitical goals in Central Asia. China's larger aspirations in Central Asia are entwined with its strategic interests in Afghanistan. A stable Afghanistan would promote investment and commerce throughout the region, expanding the BRI's influence and strengthening China's position in the political and economic spheres. Afghanistan also shares borders with Iran, another significant regional power, and Pakistan, a crucial strategic ally of China. China's strategic position in South Asia and its regional partnerships are enhanced by its engagement with Afghanistan. Pakistan has a strong relationship with China and the United States and has always maintained close links with the Taliban. Pakistan sees China as an important geopolitical and economic ally, and further Chinese investment in Afghanistan might be advantageous. India, which has a long-standing border conflict with China and has historically supported anti-Taliban forces in Afghanistan, is concerned about China's increasing influence in that country. India is worried that Afghanistan, supported by China, may be a security risk, help Pakistan, and reduce India's influence in the area. China's involvement could be seen as an effort to increase its influence and fill the power vacuum, which could fuel rivalry and competition. China's capacity to handle these conflicting interests and complex alliances will determine whether it succeeds in becoming the regional hegemon. Although Afghanistan's resources are enticing, their extraction necessitates a stable environment and the resolution of security issues. Although China's economic strength could provide a way forward, it is hardly a surefire route to dominance. China will have a difficult time navigating these problems while gaining real clout. Other parties, like the US, Russia, and India, could have their interests in Afghanistan, creating a geopolitical quagmire. Therefore, it will not be easy for China to navigate this complicated game. Can China impede its ascent to supremacy in the region?